Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Oh Brother Comics. I'm Chris,
I'm Nick.
Matt.
and we have our weekly comic book review for this week, June 30th, 2021. Guys, I had a lot of fun with the books I got to read. I don't know how you guys felt. Hopefully, it was as good as I had.
Yeah, overall, I was impressed with the books that I read this week.
Yeah, dude, I'm like super pumped to review these books.
Excellent.
Very, very strong week.
Heck yeah. I couldn't agree more, guys. Let's go ahead and we'll dive right in. Well, I think we started with Nick last time. Matt, why don't you start us off, bro?
Yeah, dude. So again, in no particular order as I do these, is just as I read them. I'm already starting out with my pick of the week.
Wow, nice.
Right out the gate, just the way it is. And as I was reading this, I was like, this is gonna be my pick of the week. So this, I did Barbaric #1 by Vault Comics, and like this comic is amazing. Like everything about it is absolutely stunning. It's action packed. It's very clever. It's very enthralling. Like every page, like is just fun, and like I was bummed when it like ended. Like it's that good. Super fun story. But yeah, the writer is Michael Morrissey and artist is Nathan Gooden. So yeah, we have Owen. He gets cursed by some witches where all he can do is good. All he can do is help people. And he's like traditionally like a bad guy that just drinks, fights, and fornicates. That was his purpose in life, and now he has to help people. And he meets a witch that he has to help, and he hates witches, and it gets better and better for him. But it's just good. I love it. Yeah, very, very solid book. Pick it up, go get it. You will love it. Read it. I'm definitely going to follow this story. It is easily like a 4.7. Like, I'm giving it a 4.7. Very strong rating. Go get Barbaric.
For the first book I reviewed, I went with Power Rangers Unlimited, #1, Edge of Darkness. And again, I always praise the Power Rangers books, and this one is right up there with it, guys. I love the writing in these books. It just flows so well. It just is so natural, and it feels just like everything you want in a Power Rangers book. In this book, we start with the Phantom Ranger, and it takes place after the Power Rangers 8 book that I reviewed last time. I believe it was like a week or two ago. But it just takes place right after that with the planet that was just destroyed. And the Phantom Ranger was sent there by Zordon, and we get a whole origin story of Rita as a child, which is really cool to get through. There's just so much going on that they're exploring in the Power Rangers universe that was never in the show, and this is everything, like I said, I've ever wanted as a fan. I rated this book a solid 4 out of 5. It was very close to my top for the week. But yeah, it's an amazing book, guys. Pick it up. Power Ranger fans, not fans, and you're just new to the book, pick it up. You'll enjoy it.
Awesome, man. So for my first book, I'm right there with Matt. So right out the gate, I have my pick of the week, and this is Midnight Western Theater #2. And if you like westerns with vampires, witty dialogue, hilariousness, as well as being full of action, then definitely pick up this book. Basically, we're following around this woman, or Tenzia, who has a secret and a desire for bloodlust, and her sidekick is a vampire who provides the comedic relief, but is also completely ruthless whenever they get into a battle. So yeah, it's definitely a great read. Writer is Lewis Southard, and illustrator is David Hahn, and they are doing an amazing job. Illustrations are on point throughout the entire issue. So yeah, it's definitely a great read. So definitely pick it up. You won't be disappointed.
So I picked up this book And I was like, how can, like, it was the second book I read. I'm like, how is this possibly going to follow Barbaric? So I gave this book a chance. I literally, like, I walked away. I took time to clear my mind, to clear my excitement, to give this book like a really fair shot. The second book I read is called Broken Gargoyles, Sin and Virtue #1, by Source Point Press. It was good. It was entertaining. I think it has a lot of very possible potential. As a #1, it just was, I don't know if I would say it was hard to follow. It was just kind of like, there wasn't like anything that really like popped about it. Like there wasn't like, the story didn't really pop. There wasn't like a character that really popped. So it kind of felt a little flat, but with a lot of potential at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, it was very adequate. It was entertaining. But I'm not ready to write it off. I think it could be a really cool story. It's like a futuristic post-World War I kind of scene. So it's very unique in that way. And I think that was what I liked most about it, was just that kind of seeing how it was like in the past, but like futuristic. That was like really well done. But it was good. It was, just nothing super flashy, no real hook that I could get from it, but I gave it like a cool like 2.9. I think is like fair for it, like a 2.9.
And for the next book on the list, I went with Star Wars High Republic #6. Now this book continues on with Jedi Master Avar Kriss, who is really a central Jedi that we follow along in pretty much all of the Jedi High Republic stories and books. In this, we see that the Drengir are back, and they are essentially attacking, and the Jedi have to stop them. We also find out that Avar Kriss has an alliance with the Hutts, and they have actually joined forces to fight against this threat. So far, the story's been a lot of fun. Personally, I feel that these books, or this particular story with the High Republic, is the better of the Star Wars books at the moment, aside from the Star Wars Bounty Hunter tie-in, which has been a lot of fun. But sometimes with these Star Wars books, it's been a little lacking for me lately, and High Republic has just been newer and more intriguing than some of the other stories. So because of that, I went ahead and rated this book a 3.5 out of 5 Oh Brothers. It is an above average book. It is intriguing. The artwork is great. The story is enough that is intriguing. It's new, since it is something so early on in the Star Wars lore that we haven't explored yet. So that is kind of keeping it above average for me right now. I do wish that the writing would get a little bit better. Unfortunately, like, the indie books are really winning in that category right now with their writing. And I hope that Star Wars does end up picking up here pretty soon, because it is such a big love for us. I love the Star Wars universe, and I will continue to keep reading these books. So guys, this is a good book for Star Wars. You should definitely pick it up.
All right, so I completely forgot to rate Midnight Western Theater #2. So my rating for that one is 4.5. So that was my pick of the week. Actually, though, my next book is tied with this one, with Midnight Western Theater #2. So I actually have 2 picks of the week this week.
Oh, no.
Dang, wow. Nice.
And so for my next book, I did Beta Ray Bill #4. And this is a 5-part miniseries. So this is the penultimate issue, and it sets it up perfectly. So we're still following Bill on his journey through Muspelheim, trying to find the Twilight Sword. And this issue is more emotional and deeper into Bill than any of the previous issues. So you get to relive some of the key moments of his past. The operation that turned him into the cyborg, the battle with Thor. So the writer, Daniel Warren Johnson, does an amazing job of conveying all of these feelings and emotions that Bill is going through, and really sets up why he wants this power back so that he can turn back into himself, because he has sacrificed so much for his people. And even though he sacrificed so much for his people were still destroyed. So this issue does an amazing job of conveying all of that. And then, of course, at the end, we get an amazing cliffhanger. So I won't spoil anything. We do see a return of a character from the past that is just going to be an amazing 5th issue. So I am very, very excited to read the last issue soon.
Okay.
So yeah, this one I also rated it a 4.5.
All right. So my third book. So as I was going back, when I was talking about Broken Gargoyles, I was worried that I was jaded. This book confirmed I was not jaded. This book was also very good and easily could have been like a pick of the week. Like it should be a pick of the week, but Barbaric was too good. But this is Parasomnia #1 by Dark Horse, and I really, really, really like this issue. It is like gripping. It is mysterious. It is almost like enchanting. Like the way it sucks you in. Like it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like takes place somewhere in like the 1500s, 1700s, but then also mirrors to like present day. But yeah, it's just really cool. Like I love the art style, the story. Like I don't know like what is happening, but like it's so well done that I like really, really want to know what's happening. Like it's got me asking all these questions in my mind, like who is this guy? Like is this him from the past? Like it opens up with like a homeless guy, that's like the main character, but then it goes back to like this I don't know, like I said, back in the 1700s, somewhere in there. But yeah, there's like I'm left with so many questions that I'm like so excited to find out the answers to, because this book is so well done and I loved it. It had my mind going. It had me totally hooked. The action is great. Yeah, it's really good. So I was definitely left wanting more. Definitely going to continue on this story. It's like an easy 4-4. So not quite. They didn't quite make that cut for pick of the week, but it's a 4-4. That could even arguably be low, but 4-4 is a great rating. That's what I'm giving it.
All right. And for my third book, I went with my tried and true, James Tynion's Department of Truth #10. This book has just, gosh, I mean, growing up with X-Files, this book hits that bone that I've missed for a long time. It's all about conspiracy. And in this book, we follow Cole and Hawk takes him on a Bigfoot hunt. And it's just amazing at how Tynion writes. His words, how he uses a lot of words and to describe things. I'm just really enjoying it. And then the artwork is just as good to portray the feeling and the theme for this conspiracy kind of book. And the story follows, aside from Cole and Hawk, it tells a story about a father who has seen this Bigfoot and ends up showing his young son because he wants his son to believe in him, kind of thing. Like, look, I'm not crazy. See, I'm going to show you this truth that I just found out. And the book portrays this idea that these things, because reality creates them and they're not necessarily real, that they're so awe-inspiring when people see them, it almost is like a drug to them, kind of thing, that it puts them in this mindset that they just get obsessed, and then people pass that down through the generations to their own kids, kind of thing. And that's how these things continue to manifest in this book. And so it's really deep and really intriguing, and it's continuing in the next. So I'm really looking forward to this next book. And guys, anything James Tynion is writing right now, you should pick it up. It's so good. I know we're always praising it here, but it's no lie. It's so good. This one is definitely my pick of the week. I went with a 4-2. I'm going to follow Matt on this. A 4-2 for my pick of the week. It's a great book, above average. I'm always looking forward to the next.
All right. So for my next book, I was not left as excited as I was for my previous two. This is Star Wars Adventures Weapon of a Jedi #2. Overall, I was slightly disappointed with the issue. The story just felt very drawn out, very cheesy. It deals because it's all centered around Luke, and he just sounds almost whiny the whole issue, and like he's just like this helpless little boy. Like I don't know. Maybe it was because I had just read Midnight Western Theater and Beta Ray Bill, and I was all hyped up, and then there was this issue, and it was just like, I don't know. It just felt like there was not really any good dialogue, any good action. The last few pages, it's like a decent sized issue, and the last few pages are really the only thing that redeemed it. There was some good action at the end, and yeah, it I don't know. There was just so many different directions that the story could have gone in, and it went in none of them. So yeah, for this one, I struggled giving it a 2.8.
Wow.
It did not live up to the hype and to the rest of the Star Wars comics. Like it just did not live up to it.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the Star Wars ones, like some of them they're about average for me, like a solid book. But I don't know. Some of the Star Wars ones, they've just been they haven't hit as hard as like some of the other books we've gotten into. Well, gentlemen, I think that brings us to our 10th review for this week. And we went with Star Wars Dr. Aphra #11. And this is a continuing tie-in to War of the Bounty Hunters event. And guys, I don't know how you guys felt with this. I think it falls pretty similarly into the category I felt with a lot of the Star Wars. Because really this book is just another setup book that it follows the same key moments in that we've seen in the other books with Star Wars and Bounty Hunters, where the character is sent off to go do something. They end up finding that Crimson Dawn's back, and now they're going to the secret auction kind of thing. I don't know. I'll open the floor for you guys. What do you guys think?
So since you both already did like a Star Wars comic each, do you mind if I
By all means.
take the steering wheel? So this is the only, I didn't get to, usually I'm really quick to get to the Star Wars comics every week. This is the only one I read this week just for the purposes of, this review. I'm still planning on getting to those other ones. But as I was listening to you guys' reviews, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to go 3 for 3 with kind of this like filler kind of like issue. I'm like, because as I was reading Aphra, I just like, I don't know. I've never been like a huge Aphra dude. I really like Vader and Aphra together, but I never like followed her story much. So I wasn't like overly excited to see like Aphra's tie-in, but I like appreciate it. But then I read it, I set it down. I'm like, like it's whatever. Like more Crimson Dawn. It's the same kind of formula we're getting. Like they're all gonna end up like, I think they're all it's gonna come to a really cool conclusion when they all meet.
Definitely.
I'm excited for it. But it was just like this issue, like it's literally the same formula for all these stories we're getting right now. Like, but then as I listened to your guys' reviews, I'm like, man, Star Wars 3 for 3 on the scale. Like, it kind of sucks as a Star Wars fan,
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna say about it right now. I'll let you guys kind of take over from here. I got more to say, but like, I'll let you guys jump in.
Yeah, so I mean, I had the exact same feelings. Actually, in my notes it says great story but filler issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Aphra is one of my favorite characters. The Dr. Aphra novel is an amazing book, but this one, yeah, it's another setup book. bringing Dirge in was pretty cool.
Dirge was cool. I like Dirge.
Yeah, and they set it up so that Dirge will most likely be showing up at the Crimson Dawn auction.
Yeah,
So,
he better do something this
He's
time.
gonna be so pissed.
Because all he did was show up and then he got like attacked by a bunch of like bugs and then he got thrown out an airlock. It's like, oh, cool. Later, Dirge.
like halfway through the issue, I was like, oh, I really got to finish it.
You know, I guess the light at the end of the tunnel is we do have War of the Bounty Hunters 2 coming out next. So that hopefully will really give us a boost into this story and see where we're going to go next.
Yeah, I have real high hopes that the whole Bounty Hunters tie-in isn't going to end the way that this previous arc did. At least I'm hoping.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's Kira. They gotta
will be really good.
Yeah, and it's Kira. They have to do her justice. Like
yeah.
Give me a good send off because we already know the outcome. We already know Han's gonna stay in Carbonite. Like I just want a good ending off of this, not just some.
They gotta do something.
Not
that
some
makes the fans
event.
be like, oh crap! Like there's gotta be something.
Yeah.
Like
you just
Kira
don't want
better not like eat some caviar and then die.
I already think they used that, so hopefully they won't use it again, but maybe not. All right, guys, what do you think about rating this? Nick, what do you got?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, man. This one, I tied it with Weapon of a Jedi, dude. This is this 2.8 for me.
This is a bad week for Star Wars, bro.
I know. It's okay. Star Wars will be back. They'll come back. What do you got, Matt? What are you rating this?
Ooh. All right, man. So knowing nothing about Aphra, that all the knowledge you have, I'm glad I didn't have that knowledge. And to be fair, I will give it credit. Like it's still as a one-off comic to me. Like it still was like a fun issue to me.
Yeah.
'Cause I knew nothing about the guy they're hunting, so I think that helped. So it was still fun. I like me and Dirge. I like just them running around the ship with the bugs, whatever. It still felt very Star Warsy. It still had that vibe. So it was still okay, but it just I didn't go into it excited. I didn't leave it excited. And what'd you get? You gave it a 2.8?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, like, I got it right. It's documented. I landed on a 2.9, so I'm kind of right there with you.
All right. Well, geez. Well, I'm almost right there in line with all you guys. Honestly, I felt the same way. I didn't know anything about the Dr. Aphra previous issues. I mean, that is definitely a bigger weight on this book. But I will stick to what I gave it, not knowing that at first, because man, that does really suck that kind of ended that way. Like I said, it was a solid Star Wars book. I would rate this an average grade. I gave it honestly a 3.0 on this. I thought it was just average. It was everything I expect in a Star Wars book. Again, my big issue, and again, it's the indie books that are spoiling me. It's just the writing just isn't there for me. It just needs a little bit more dialogue to just or just the way they phrase things and word things and how they jump around from panel to panel. There's something there. I think it's just the dialogue, because the indie books are just so well done. At least maybe it's just me, but that's why I decided to go with that. That's what's kind of holding me back. But the War of the Bounty Hunters event is still interesting, and it's got me wanting to see exactly where the outcome comes, and mainly because of Kira, because I really did enjoy the Han Solo film. I'm really sad that people didn't accept it as well as I feel they should, because it was a great film. I still rate it over a Rogue One for me personally. But with that, guys, that brings us to the end of this review, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Guys, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment down below and let us know what books you've been reading and what you're looking forward to this next coming week. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you again for watching. We can't thank you enough. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
See ya.